Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt, Knost, and Drew Stoltz. What a week it was at the Cognizant Classic for Joe Highsmith, who got his first PGA Tour victory at crazy odds, which, unfortunately, we didn't have a piece on. But if you happen to go over to our friends' sportsbook over at Fanatics, you could have got a nice little payday on Joe, because when you bet, you win or you lose. But with Fan Cash, that's not exactly true anymore. With Fanatics Sportsbook, you earn Fan Cash back on each bet, win or lose. Fan Cash unlocks the world of Fanatics. Flip it into bonus bets, new team apparel on Fanatics.com, and so much more. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app and start earning Fan Cash today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut residents call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts residents call 800-327-5050. New York residents 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland residents visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Sleeves, we were close.
God,
we were
couple
close.
brutal beats for the boys last week. You had Shane Lowry finishes in 11th. I had Daniel Berger, who was inside the top 5 for the majority of the week, and then had a little 4 over through 3 stretch coming home.
The 11th, I feel like, is so close. Let's just round up.
It works for me. Very reasonable people at Fanatics, too. I think if you write a nice handwritten letter, they'll understand.
Yes, I believe it. Well, Joe Highsmith made everything this past week, and Odyssey isn't just the #1 putter brand. It dominates around the world. It's the #1 putter on every major tour. PGA, LPGA, DP World, you name it. And it's not #1 by a little either. Significantly more tour pros play an Odyssey putter over the next closest competitor. So it's no surprise that Odyssey is also #1 in worldwide wins and #1 in money earned. They know performance matters, and they know Odyssey delivers it. See what it can do for you at odysseygolf.com. Cognizant Classic turned into the Amex. I mean, 19 under par, Sleeves. All week long, all we did was talk about how hard PGA National is, the Champions golf course, and, well, obviously we were wrong, because we had a 59, we had a 5 under cut, and a 19 under par winning score.
64 just being tossed around like they were nothing. RIP to the artist formerly known as the Honda Classic. The Honda Classic was a beast. You showed up to the Honda Classic, you had to buckle your chin strap. You're in for a war. The Cognizant, it's just like, hey, you want to improve your scoring average? It's a great place to come out here, just flick it around. I mean, dude, the first day I turned on the television, I was like, oh, cool. Let's see what's going on down there. 8 under, 9 under, 7 under, 7 under, 7 under. I was like, what is going on right now? Never in my life would I have thought you would see a 59 at PGA National. No. And nor would I, if you would have told me, hey, someone will probably fire like a 128 on the weekend and win the thing. I'd be like, wrong.
128.
Not out.
You shot closer to 128. You shot closer to 128 in Q school in one round.
It's right there, dude. Couple more putts.
Yeah, I don't get it. I know they've changed the last couple of years with overseeding the golf course, which has made it extremely easier. We had no wind, but the fact the greens were just incredibly soft the first 3 days before they finally dried them out on Sunday. But my question is, it's known for the bear trap. Why are they playing these par threes so short? Like, we go back to Thursday, Friday, number 17, one of the scariest par threes on the PGA Tour. You had 145 yards and 157 yards. Even on Sunday, 175 with a left, like middle backish left hole location away from the water. There was 2 balls in the water on Sunday. Like, we expect carnage around there. It's supposed to be hard. It's the 17th hole. That's where drama happens, and we just didn't have it this year.
We didn't have any of it. I mean, that hole back from... Even if they don't have it all the way back, because the stands now cover up the back tee box, but like something in there, 2 balls in the water is nothing. I mean, you and I back going when we played it from 205, you could be hitting 4-iron.
I've hit 3.
On the wind, and you could bail onto the 18th tee, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to make triple from here too. Might as well have hit it in the water. I have less issue with where the tee boxes were. By the way, we are like, this is old men yelling at clouds type shit right here, right? Oh, the course is too easy, but... That is a beast of a golf course, and it is fun to challenge people. Single digits wins that thing a lot.
From 2007 to 2020, okay, when it moved to PGA National in 07, 11 out of 13 years, single digits won there.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Knapp would have had the winning score after the first round for like a bunch of the last years. But to go in there and the overseed changes everything. Fairways become soft. Ball doesn't bounce as much. The biggest thing, I think, is the chipping around the green. Instead of that gnarly kind of dormant Bermuda, grain could be rolling into you. It's sitting perfect on some overseed. I saw people hitting chips. I was like, there's no way you could have hit that shot, a handful of years ago. So I don't know. I guess, we spent the whole week talking about how hard this course is, what a beast it is. It can break you. And then all of a sudden, we look like idiots because they come out there and they just torch the place. It was like a Corn Ferry cut, 5 under. So I don't know. I feel like that golf course is one that can be a monster for them. They got enough weeks where they're going to go birdie everything. I like seeing it play hard, but that's Old Man River.
And I've heard a lot of complaining. Well, what I've been told, a lot of players have complained that it is too hard with this whole stretch they have coming up, where it's here at PGA National, then we go to Bay Hill, then the Players, and then Valspar. It's like 4 weeks in a row of very difficult golf courses. Tough shit. Last time I checked, the smallest purse is like $9 million. Who cares? Like,
and the better players should want it hard, wouldn't you think?
Exactly.
I'd like, if I'm the best player in the world, make this thing as impossible as you can, because then will for sure rise to the top. Yeah, but
we always talk about golf courses where you can't fake it. And like, this is one of those golf courses you normally can't fake it around. You have to hit fairways. The rough is crazy deep. Like holes like 11 where Jake Knapp lost the golf tournament.
That hole can take lives.
Yeah, but that's one in the past he made a triple from the fairway when he tried to play it out of the water twice. I mean, we've seen so many guys lay up from there in the past out of the rough because it's such a daunting shot over the water. But now, I mean, we saw so many guys just going for everything out of the rough. The rough wasn't penal. The greens were ridiculously soft. I mean, the first day, they weren't even spinning back. They were just basically plugging in the green. And I know they had some rain, but you could still dry it out. We saw what they did on Sunday where the greens changed color. You could see they started getting a little bounce in them. But this whole thing of it's too many hard golf courses in a row, that needs to go away. Like, I'm sorry. That's just how the schedule lays out.
And don't play it. If it's hard and you don't want to play it, then don't play it.
You got to sack up 4 weeks in a row.
But don't be like, I want to play, but make it way easier. It's like if an NFL team has a tough 4-week stretch on their schedule. Like, let's not play this one. Or I don't want, throw a cupcake in there. Like, no, that's just the way it is. So this is not to take away, by the way, from what Joe Highsmith did. That was an unbelievable. I mean, Friday, it's staring at a 5-footer just to play the weekend. Makes the thing, goes on 64, 128, picks up his first win on the PGA Tour. No knock on him. He was spectacular. He hit all the shots, almost exactly where it was looking. It felt like the entire back nine. Putted the hell out of it. It was a hell of a win by him. 19 under is tough to get used to at PGA National.
Yeah, he's going to probably look back, and that 5-footer for par on the 36th hole might be the most important putt of his life. If he misses that, he's off another weekend. His best finish on the season was a T17 at Mexico the week before. Had only one other made cut before that. He misses that. He's at home this weekend. Instead, he goes out, shoots 64, wins by 2. Just unbelievable. And now he's going to the Masters. He's in all the signature events for the rest of the year. That was a multi-million-dollar putt for him. Made $1.6 million on Sunday. So far in his PGA Tour career before that, had made $1.4 million.
Well done. Way to double up. Second biggest win of his career after the twin fin.
That's right.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah,
that was his coming out party. That's when the world knew this kid's a force to be reckoned with.
He was on a board of champions with us.
That's right. What's better than paint on the wall with a couple of names like that? Yeah. Almost bigger than Seminole.
All right. Well, it's time to get zoned in with our friends over at Zone Nicotine. Can't thank them enough for the sponsorship of Subpar. And what a story this is, Sleaze. I want to zone in on this guy, Ryan Peake, the Aussie, who won the New Zealand Open. And if you don't know him, you got to hear this story, because this is a guy who went to school with Cam Smith, was a really good amateur player, was destined to have a really bright future in the game of professional golf. But he was also involved in a little gang down in Australia.
It happens.
And next thing you know, some assault charges lead to a 5-year prison sentence. Okay? Got out of prison, started dedicating himself to the game of golf, wanted to clean up his life, and now just won the New Zealand Open, made an 8-footer for par on the last to avoid a 5-way playoff. Not only does he win, he gets a spot at the Open Championship this summer at Royal Portrush. This is one of the coolest stories I've ever heard.
He is the son of anarchy.
Yeah, I mean,
he is it. When I had never heard of, like everyone had never heard of him. He wins. I start reading all. I'm like, oh my god, this is true? This is crazy. We're gonna do our damnedest to try to get a hold of him and try to get him on this show, because this is a story you've never heard of before. From world class amateur to joined a gang, little prison stint, and then back out and winning and playing majors. I mean, it's a hell of a story. I always thought this is where my career I probably missed. I just need I need to do a little bit. You know? This is not a long one. 5 years is a little much, but just a little bit of hard time. You come out a changed man. All of a sudden, my game would have gone to the next level.
Let's go down to Phoenix Correctional. Put you in there for a day. Maybe we film it for our YouTube.
Scared straight.
Yeah.
With Sleaze.
We've got you to play hockey. We're talking about you going up in the mountains of McCord. Prison, next.
How do you think I do down there with the fellas?
I love that you do all these, though. Thank you for that.
How do you think the fellas would receive me down there? Boys, I got to tell you about Mayakoba. The year is 2012.
I think this is a great idea, Mark. Maybe we just 24 hours in the joint, film everything that goes on down there.
I'll tell you this. New answer to which tour player would you like to have in a bar fight with you?
Ryan Peake.
Ryan Peake,
You're
come
my
on
guy.
down. You're the dude.
That's awesome.
Pretty sweet story, all jokes aside.
But congratulations to him. And once again, thanks to Zone Nicotine for their sponsorship. Let's get to our gambling this week. Make sure you go download the Fanatics Sportsbook app if you haven't already. Join along with us because we got a season-long contest going. Last week just was robbery. We mentioned earlier. I had a T11. Boog, Daniel Berger was right there. I mean, I thought he was going to win the golf tournament. Had a disaster on the back nine. But hey, it's a new week. We're on to the API.
After we just talked about how easy PGA National is, we're like, oh yeah, Boog had a brutal finish to it. It was still possible to do, and Sunday was the hardest of the days, but it didn't have the same bite. And yeah, I was really high on Daniel Berger going in the weekend. I was like, he's going to win this.
A lot of people were.
Yeah, just kind of stalled out.
It was Russell Henley and Daniel Berger pretty much the entire world took this past week. But hey, it's a new week. Let's bounce back. We're on to the API. Bay Hill, I can promise you this. They ain't going to make this golf course soft. Unless some weather happens, it's going to play extremely difficult, normally very high rough. Greens are basically gray come the weekend.
So fun.
So firm. Single digits wins there a lot. Shocking. Scottie Scheffler is your betting favorite. He's won 2 of the last 3. It's a perfect golf course for him. Nobody hits the irons higher and better than him. So surprise, surprise. He's your favorite. But if you want to bet him at 3.5 to 1, go ahead. But I'm going with the top 20 bet this week. Guy's got a great record here. Loves this golf course. He's playing really nice golf right now. And just the way he goes about it, I think it sets up perfect for him. Give me Keegan Bradley, the captain, plus 160 to top 20.
Loves this place. Drives a great track record. Go and win this thing. Starts conversation changes on Bethpage. You know,
if he wins,
hope he wins something just so we have this dilemma because we've never really had it before.
Arnold Palmer, last playing captain.
Yeah, it'd be sweet if he's like in the 8th spot. Yeah, what do you do?
That's what I said. He said he won't pick himself, but I'm sorry. If you're 7th or 8th,
the top 6 guys will vote him in.
Yeah, the rest of the team is going to be like, no, dude.
No, dude. You're playing.
You're going. Yeah.
You're playing. And then Kiz steps in and becomes actual captain.
That would be beautiful as well.
That would be sick. All right. I'm going with the guy that you've been high on this year. In good form. He just missed for you this past week on the top 10. I'm doing a top 20 play with him. 11th last week, as we said. Runner-up at Pebble. He is phenomenal on firm golf courses. I would say maybe the best firm golf course. Mostly like Open Championship, link-style stuff. But Bay Hill gets that way too. Give me Shane Lowry, top 20 at plus 150.
Okay.
Decent odds. Yeah.
All right, so there you have it. Keegan Bradley and Shane Lowry for our picks this week. Well, our guest this week loves him some Bay Hill as well, Sleaze. But before we get to him, why don't you tell us about our friends over at Shipsticks?
Huge shout out to the best partner in golf, Shipsticks. If you ever travel, going boys trips, whatever it is, tired of lugging your bags around, this is the easiest way to do it. I mean, you just go online. They can pick it up at your golf course, pick it up at your house. Boom, it's there. Bypass all the bag claim stuff if you can get your stuff in a carry-on. We use them. I mean, I use them every single time I travel. You do too.
I'm using it next week. A little shadow trip with the fellas. Clubs will be sitting there waiting, and then we'll ship them right back home.
And what's better than that? Shipsticks, very friendly with the people up at Shadow Creek. And right now, Shipsticks is offering our listeners 20% off your first shipment when you go to shipsticks.com and use the code Subpar20. Go to shipsticks.com and use the code Subpar20 to get 20% off your first shipment and save yourself the hassle this golf season. That's shipsticks.com. Make sure you use the code Subpar20 so they know we sent you. Change your life.
Love it. All right. Very special guest this week. This is a fun one. He's one of the best players in the world. Ryder Cupper, President's Cupper, multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. Sam Burns joins us on Golf Subpar.
All right. It is a pleasure to have our guest that we have with us here today. He's a 5-time PGA Tour winner, a diehard LSU Tiger, occasional rocker of a sick mullet, and the pride of Shreveport. Sam Burns joins us. Sammy, greetings.
Thank you guys for having me. Looking forward to it.
It's been a while, Sam. I've been wanting to get you on here for quite some time. Finally found some time to do it, and I'm very excited about this. Just go ahead and hate your friends for some of the questions that are going to come up here later on. Just kidding. They're not too bad. But Sleaze mentioned diehard LSU fan. I know you're a proud Tiger. So let's just go ahead and get it going right now. Give us your best Coach O impersonation.
Honestly, it's been so long. I feel like at this point we need to do Brian Kelly impersonations with his fake Southern accent.
Well, let's do it.
Well, I'm down here with my family, and I'm just so excited to be your football coach. And everybody was like, what?
What the hell are you?
Yeah. You're from Boston. What the hell just happened?
Yeah, like
that was embarrassing.
That was tough entrance for him, but hopefully we're on the come up with our football program.
Well,
I think we're a baseball school at this point.
You are a baseball school.
True.
Very good baseball school. But since we're doing a little impersonations here, we actually got someone to submit one of you.
I know this is going to be.
Mark, go ahead.
Hey guys, it's Sam Burns, and you're listening to Subpar.
Oh my gosh, I could have told you that was coming.
Oh, dude. When I first heard it, I was like, that's Sam? Sam just said one? No, that's Xander. I'll give you, all right, here's the question. Who do you think told us that he does the best impersonation of you on tour?
Probably himself.
He did not,
It's actually
to be
a good
fair,
answer.
but that's a great answer.
It wasn't.
Probably Scottie.
No, Scottie helped out with a lot of other things.
Ryder Cup teammate, though.
Yeah, but Wyndham Clark was the man who threw that one at us.
Dub said he's like, gotta have him do it. He does an unbelievable Sam Burns.
I texted Xander and said, heard you do a great impersonation of Burns. You think you can make me a little video saying this? He has never responded so fast.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he'd love that opportunity.
I mean, he's got nothing
He's
else to
bored
do
right now. Yeah.
For sure.
Poor guy.
Let's talk a little bit about your time at LSU, because Baton Rouge, it's awesome. I've been down there back in college, never been to a football game or anything like that, but tell us a little bit about your time down there.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I think it's a place like no other. I think it's one of those places where if you don't really have your priorities in line, you can kind of waver off pretty quickly. And I was a perfect example of that my freshman year. I think I was just so excited to get down there and just experience it all. And I did experience it all. And my golf game suffered tremendously. But it's a special place. It's just, the culture of it. Everyone loves LSU. The fans are diehards. And it's an incredible place.
Yeah. Colt and I, neither of us have been to a game at Death Valley. That's on my sports bucket list as a night game at Death Valley. It doesn't have to be while you were attending LSU. It could be prior or even after. But what's the best game you've seen at Death Valley, or most memorable game?
Honestly, it was probably this past year. I went down for the Ole Miss game, and that game was nuts. It was like Ole Miss had every opportunity in the first half to kind of put us away. And we just hung around and ended up winning overtime. And it was electric. It was unbelievable.
Take me through.
Kept them out of the playoffs.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Take me through like a game day situation for you down there in Baton Rouge. Like if it's a night game and game day is actually in town, I mean, that makes for one hell of a long day.
Are we talking now, or are we talking about when I was in college?
Oh.
Well, now you're married. You're a father, so I don't think you're going to be going through the whole thing like you did back in college. So let's go back to college. How do you attack the day?
Yeah, so when we lived on campus and we were in town for a night game, we would typically start the day off with, having the freshmen come over to our apartment and make sure they set up beer pong for us in our apartment. We would take our couch and we'd flip it over. And we would take the door off of the washing machine, take it off the hinges, and lay it on top of the couch. And that was our beer pong table.
That's innovative.
You Cajuns do it different.
Nice.
Yeah, that would start pretty early, and then at some point we'd walk over to tailgate, probably around mid to late morning. Do that for 6 or 7 hours, and then head into the game probably an hour before.
6 or 7, just to get you lubed up proper.
How's Sunday feeling?
Sunday was a day off.
Yeah.
For sure.
Day of rest. So we're talking about Death Valley. Have you been to any other SEC venues to see a game? And if so, what's the best outside of Death Valley?
Yeah, I've been to Ole Miss. I've been to Alabama. I'm trying to think if I've been to any others. I think that's it. Maybe Florida. But I mean, we're talking, tier 1 LSU, and then, if we want to discuss tier 2, we could rank those. But I don't think it's fair to kind of put those in the same same ranking system.
I hear Grove is awesome though. At Ole Miss. That one comes up a lot.
Yeah.
Good.
It's pretty good, I think.
I was gonna have you pick. Say you had to go to one, just because your friends on tour.
If I had to do an away game,
you had to go to an away game. Would you choose Alabama or Georgia?
I'd probably have to go Alabama, I think.
Ooh,
interesting.
Okay.
Between the Hedges at night, I've heard is quite the experience too.
I've been to Athens. I'm a big fan of Athens.
Athens is really cool. I've been to Auburn too. My sister went to Auburn. Auburn's it's really nice, clean, great campus. Football, but campus is great.
One last Cajun question for you. I love crawfish. I just hate the whole process of trying to eat the crawfish.
Mm-hmm.
How would you rank your skills when it comes to that? I mean, is it just like boom and you got the meat out?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I think they're, if you're looking at someone who's experienced doing it, like they're not peeling the whole tail. You peel like one or two parts, and then you kind of squeeze the tail and you pull the tail out of the shell. So it's much quicker instead of, if you watch somebody that's never done it, they're peeling the whole thing, like trying to do it perfect. But it's really about how efficient can you be.
Do you suck the head?
Whoa,
No.
That's a personal question. Jesus Christ.
That's
we just
what it's
get
called.
started. You got to warm them up before you ask shit like that.
That's what it's called.
Sam, I apologize. That's out of line.
Okay. It's an honest
No
question.
head sucking.
It's a little spicy in there.
To each their own, I guess. All right. So you're still in Louisiana, obviously. Were you ever, when you turned pro, were you ever tempted to go to one of the hubs like Sea Island, Jupiter, any of that? Were you always just going to be Louisiana?
Yeah, I never had any interest. I think for me, like, just as much as we're on the road and travel, and I feel like some of those places are just kind of an extension of the tour. And, there's not a lot of great hunting in Florida. So that was a big X on my list. But I think, this feels like home. I'm close to family. I can kind of get away from golf pretty easily. And so that was kind of a big draw for me to want to stay at home.
Yeah, you love your hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend actually doing that compared to, practicing at your actual job of playing golf?
Yeah, this time of year it's tough because deer and duck season is over, and turkey season's not open yet. So it kind of forces me to practice a little bit more. But November, December, golf's pretty far down on the list.
What's the best season hunting? Like, what's your favorite thing to hunt?
That's tough. I love to duck hunt. I also love to bow hunt. And hunting turkeys is pretty dang fun too. So it would be tough to decide between one, but if I had to pick just one forever, I would probably say duck hunting.
Yeah, I was told you'd pick duck hunting by our man Dean Takel.
Yeah.
What question on the bow hunting? You're shooting turkeys, right?
I shoot
with
turkeys with a shotgun.
Oh, you shoot turkeys with a shotgun? What do you shoot with a bow?
Whitetail.
Okay.
Those are deer.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. I've killed one thing in my life, Sam. I got a raccoon back in the day at TCU. No big deal. When you're shooting a whitetail with a bow, like how close, what's your range? When do you become lethal?
Yeah, for me, really anything inside 40 yards. If you look at guys like professional bow hunters, they'll shoot up to probably close to 100.
No shit.
Yeah, I mean, but they're practicing every day and they're like legit, like
100 yards
in golf terms, +8 handicap. They're really, really good. But for me at 100, I would no.
All right, no. You're getting a group of PGA Tour players together to go on a duck hunt. Okay, who are we taking with us?
Well, number one is the godfather of duck hunting, David Toms.
Okay.
He's the first. And then I'd probably go Chandler Phillips.
Oh,
he's
I love him.
Very loves to duck hunt. Kiz loves to duck hunt. Harmon. How many are we taking?
It's your trip. You can take as many as you want. I love that you said Chandler Phillips. We like that guy. We nicknamed him Doc because of his mustache.
Yes, we actually we hunted together at David's place this year. If I could take another person as like a non PGA Tour player but good golfer, it'd be Carter Toms. He's a duck hunting maniac. But probably some more Sea Island boys. Those guys like to get after it a little bit. So that'd probably be my group.
There's no way Keith Mitchell
I was
goes.
about to say some good outdoorsmen like Keith.
I don't have any cashmere duck hunting clothes, so I think he'd probably be out.
Keith's been catching some strays the last couple weeks
I
on
know.
here.
We love you, Keith.
If you get us some camo cashmere and a PJ to get in there, he'd be all in.
Yeah, Gucci loafers,
Some Louis
and some camo,
Yeah.
camo cashmere. Oh, that's so good. I want to ask you a question that I just saw on your Instagram, and it may not have been the first time, but it may. I want to know what it was like playing with now president. I think he was president-elect at the time, Donald Trump, and just what that golf day experience looks like.
Yeah, it's it's funny. I get asked that a lot, and people are like, "Well, what's he like?" I'm like, "He's exactly how you think he would be. I mean, he is exactly what you see on TV. Like, he's just brutally honest. He's very open. Like, you can pretty much ask him anything. So it's really cool and he loves golf. I mean, he loves to play, loves the game. But yeah, and he has some really funny stories. So it's pretty cool to listen to.
How many people are out there with him?
So this time, I would say there's anywhere between, on every hole, there's probably close to 20 carts.
Nice.
And then if you're paying attention, you kind of look off, you'll see snipers and Secret Service everywhere. It's funny. I'm like, I don't know if this is the safest place or the most dangerous place. I think it's kind of both probably at the same time.
Yep, that's a good question. You said you can ask him anything. Did you ask him any cool shit like JFK, aliens, get some of the intel,
Yeah, I've asked him some stuff that I wasn't sure if he would answer or not, but he did.
Can you share what topic? You don't have to give us if this is like classified, but like just what topic it refers to.
Probably it would be under Department of Defense.
Okay.
Oh man,
I also saw in there
could it be?
you had a picture with Elon Musk, which is pretty sick. Can you please explain to me what a raging Cajun LSU fellow like yourself is talking about with Elon Musk?
Right.
Yeah, so we're playing golf with President Trump, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to come to dinner at Mar-a-Lago tonight?" And we're like, "I mean, yeah." So we go to dinner, and he's like, Elon will be there. Do you want to meet Elon? We're like, yeah, we'd love to meet Elon. He's like, okay, I'll find you whenever we get there, and I'll bring you over to meet Elon. He's like, Elon, he loves Mar-a-Lago, he loves it, will not leave. He loves Mar-a-Lago. So we're sitting there, and he comes up to the table. Is like, all right, let's go. Come over and we'll talk to Elon. So we go over there, and like, I have no idea what I'm going to talk to Elon Musk about. I mean, his IQ is like 1 million, and mine's like 20. Like, what? I have no idea what I'm going to say to him. And, I think that we started small talking, and I think I mentioned something about his rockets, and like he kind of nerded out on talking about that. I think he said they get from Texas to Australia in like 34 minutes.
Oh, my
something
God.
absurd. Yeah. So we talked about that. We talked about just kind of his role with the in the government and that sort of stuff. And that was pretty much it.
That's
But
cool.
the
So
coolest was meeting the first lady. She is like legit, very intimidating. Like, would not want to mess with her.
Did you have any conversation with her? More importantly,
I was very scared to talk to her. I just introduced myself and just said hello. That was pretty much it.
that's probably smart. How does that initially? You said it was clearly in Florida. You had dinner at Mar-a-Lago. How's that get set up? Like, how's that get brokered? Like, hey Sam, you want to go play with Trump?
Yeah. So Brett, my agent, he lives down there, plays with President Trump pretty often, and we had played together last time he was president. It's been, I guess that was probably 2017-ish. And one of Trump's favorite things to do is just play with like professional golfers. So he asked Brett, he's like, whenever Sam wants to come back and play, just let me know. So we set it up to go down there we were supposed to just fly down and play golf, fly home. And then, the dinner thing got brought up, and ended up staying till, I don't know, flew home at midnight or whatever.
That's so cool. Can you any idea what he shot the times you've played with him? Because we hear what he says he shoots all the time, but I hear he could maybe fudge those numbers a little bit.
Yeah, the day we played, he was my partner, so it's automatic win, of course. And he drives it really well. And then he made at least one birdie on his own ball. He hit a wedge to like 3 feet, spun it back to like 3 feet. It was sick. But his chipping's not great. So if he gets it around the green, he'll, if he hits a bad chip or he'll just end up picking it up. But he does drive it really well.
That's what I've heard.
Does he ask for pointers? Like he loves playing with the tour guys. Like as cool as it is for you to play with the president, he probably thinks that equally getting to play with the best golfers in the world.
Yeah, he never asked me for pointers, but he was just, like if you hit a drive and you hit a good drive, he was just like, wow, that's amazing. It's amazing you guys can do that.
Were you nervous at all teeing it up with him?
Not this time. I was definitely more nervous the last time I played with him.
Yeah.
But he's just like, there's never a dull moment. Like he always keeps the conversation going. He's pretty funny. Like he's a funny guy. So he's just like, a great guy to go play around the golf with. Like, it's just very entertaining. The stories are great. Like, it's cool.
I love that. Well, one of the things I've always loved about your game is your pace of play. And obviously that's been a very popular topic.
You're going to bring that up.
Yeah. It's been a very popular topic on the PGA Tour as of late. And I said on air last week, like I gave him credit. The weekend at Torrey Pines was much better, but it was twosomes. But it's been pretty slow as of late. What's your opinion on everything? Because a lot of the players have said this is kind of unfair. The courses are set up hard. There's too many people, blah, 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 blah. And you're one of the fastest guys out there. How do you deal with it?
Well, I think there's multiple problems. I'll start by saying I think when we're playing threes, there's not much incentive for us to play fast because we don't want to hurry up and then wait. And that's what typically happens. So I would go out on a limb and say if you looked at individuals and their times and what it takes them in threes compared to twos, I would say on average, I would think they're probably 5 seconds faster per shot in twosomes. I think if you looked at, so Torrey Pines, the Farmers, when they played threes on the weekend, they were playing in, 5.5, probably. Difficult weather, but, similar to what we played in the rough was thick. It wasn't playing easy. And we played twos on the weekend, and we played in 4 hours. So it's like, how much can we really speed up in threesomes? Maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And it's like, well, what's the point of that? Like, that's not going to do much. But when you play in twos and you play in 4 hours, that's a big difference.
Huge.
I think there's certain guys that are slow. And it's frustrating because, when I play with those guys and I watch and it's, their turn to hit, I'm like, what are you even doing for the last minute and a half? Like, you don't have your number yet. You don't know what club you're going to hit. It's like, I don't understand. So I think it's part of a field size / twosomes versus threesomes problem. I think it's certain individual problem. It's just, I don't know what the fix is other than every time we play twosomes, we play really fast.
It's true. And I mean, I think you could look at the pace of play policy, which I've talked about on here, like the fact that you have to mess up basically 4 times before you ever get stroked. Do you think, I got 2 parts. Do you think it would change if it was much easier, I would say, to get stroked, or if instead of fines, you were actually deducted FedEx Cup points for slow play?
I would say that there's no reason you should have 4 times to get fined.
Yeah.
For starters. I also think fines to a lot of guys doesn't mean anything. You find a guy $50,000, he doesn't really care that much. You start taking FedEx Cup points away, that's going to mean a lot more to somebody. So I think if we really want to try to enforce this pace of play thing, which I think it's a bigger issue than just singling out people. I think the penalty should be a lot more severe than, just a monetary value. I think it should be FedEx Cup points, possibly getting demoted from your tee time category, and on and on. But, that goes back to the point of, well, if we can only really speed up by 10 or 15 minutes, what's that worth?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, I think if you're talking like Amex, okay, PGA West, not the hardest golf course in the world, dome conditions, 5 hours and 39 minutes for Sunday. It's like, guys, this is just unacceptable. Like, you should be playing in 4.5,
No
max
rough.
440 around there.
Yeah, but like that place, if you know you're going to be waiting on 11T,
Yeah.
You think you're going to play faster? No.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
you look over at, you're on 10 green, you look across the road and they're on 11 tee. You're like, oh, well, we can take our time here.
Yeah. But like, I just don't think in twosomes that really happens.
That's fair. And also, you're going off one tee. You never have to worry about running into the other side or anything like that. But let me ask you this, because I mentioned the pace of play policy. What do you think would happen if, okay, Sam, your group is behind. Okay. So the second you become behind, rule switch comes up, you guys are on the clock. So now you're being timed. The first bad time, not the second, not the third, the first bad time is a 1-stroke penalty. The second time is a 2-shot penalty. Like, I think you just got to get to it quicker. Like this whole, hey, you're behind. If you don't pick it up, you're going to be on the clock. Okay, now you're on the clock. Your first bad time's a warning. Like,
Yeah, I understand. In my opinion, I think, we have all the technology, and every rules official and just about every player could tell you who are the fast players and who are the slow players. So why aren't we, if we're really serious about this, why aren't we, as soon as the slow player tees off, put him on the clock, and let him know that he's on the clock? You think he's going to continue to play slow if he knows he's on the clock? I don't think so.
yeah.
We know you're slow, but why are we just waiting until something happens or, your group gets behind to do something? Because then, if I'm playing with two slow guys and then we get put on the clock, and let's say I have, a rolling or a bad hole or something, then all of a sudden, I'm trying to make up time because these guys got us on the clock when it's not really me. And so I think that can be frustrating for guys who are typically fast players and may have, one hole that something happens or rolling or, whatever it is. But most of the time, the rules officials know who's causing the groups to get behind. So I think we should be focused more on that than trying to put the whole group on the clock for getting behind.
What if we just start, like you said, you know who the slow players are? What if we just start shoving them to the back of all the waves? Like, you get these tee times. If you don't finish in the afternoon, it's on you because you're slow. And when you get 3 slow guys all together, it doesn't happen like what you just said. Like, you have a bad hole.
Getting demoted from your tee time category.
Yeah.
You should be put in the back. If you're going to continue to play that slow, there should be some type of, something to incentivize you to speed up. And right now there's nothing.
Yeah. Like I said, you're one of the fastest guys out there. Who are some of the other guys when you get paired with, you're like, damn, that guy plays fast?
Gosh, I played with somebody recently that I was like, I can't even get out of this guy's way. Like I would be getting my number and I would look back and he's already got a club pulled. I forget who that was. It was somewhere recent. But I think you don't pick up as much on the fast players as you do the slow ones, obviously, because it's way more frustrating to play with someone who's like, you would never complain about, God, this guy's just playing too fast.
Never.
No. So it's more so the slow ones that you kind of know going into the day, like, all right, and then for me, I have to play slower. It's I'm just going to walk slower. I'm going to do everything slower. I might consider just going to get in the Porta-John for 5 minutes to get us on the clock.
I've heard this from some guys that play rather quickly. They're like, look, I'm tired of this. I'm going to get us on the clock right away. They'll slow it down. Like you said, go to the porta potty, be like, let's get this guy on the clock, and he'll start playing at a normal pace.
Why not? I mean, you might as well.
God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's good.
Love
move.
that.
Where's Sam? Yeah, he's in the shitter still. Some of that crawfish.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to ask you about team competition, Sam, because you played the last 3 years. You've represented U.S., 2 Presidents Cup, a Ryder Cup. I was wondering, out of those three, do you have like a most memorable event for you? And playing on the last three, how much of a priority has that become for you to then qualify for those teams going forward?
Yeah, I think once my career is over, those will be some of the weeks that I definitely will remember the most, and look back on, and just to be able to kind of share that experience with those other guys and the caddies and all the wives, and it's just the captains. Like, everybody's so involved. It's such a cool week, and I would say most memorable. I mean, obviously the first one, the first President's Cup I played on at Quail Hollow, that was awesome. And then playing in Rome was really, really cool. We didn't play, how we wanted to, obviously, but it was a really cool week. And then the last President's Cup in Canada, that one was pretty awesome. Just, you knew it was going to be tough going up there. The Canadian fans were going to be very into it, and to get off to the start that we did was massive. So I think definitely it's a priority for me. I feel like those team events are always ones that you mark down, and you would do anything you can to make that team. And so for me this year, it's definitely probably my biggest goal is to be on that Ryder Cup team at Bethpage. And I think Keegan's going to do an amazing job. He's been very passionate about it, and he's put a lot of hard work in already. And so it'll definitely be a week that I don't want to miss out on.
And I know you've been on both sides of it, where you've been picked and you've been passed over as well. Like going back to Whistling Straits, Scottie Scheffler was one of your best buddies. It basically came down to you and Scottie, who was going to be that last captain's pick. What was it like getting that phone call from Strick saying that you weren't going to be on the team?
Yeah, I mean, clearly they made the wrong decision with Scottie. He's played the last couple of years.
Justin Thomas wanted me to let you know that he did vote for you.
That one was different. I think it's weird when you have one of your close friends, and it comes down to both of you, because you kind of you feel both sides of it, in the sense that you want what's best for your friend, but you also want to be on that team yourself. So I think it was we actually, Caroline and I and Meredith and Scottie, talked on the phone that day for a long time after that phone call. And it was just like this weird emotions of like, man, I'm really sad, but like also I'm happy for him and Meredith. And so it's definitely different. I think if it would have been someone else, it would have been obviously just more disappointed that I wasn't on the team. But I feel like he was more than deserving to be there, and obviously played great, and is the player that he is. I mean, he's the best player in the world, and it's really not that close. So it was really cool to be able to watch, and just kind of his coming out moment, or whatever you want to call it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's where it all started. And like I said, y'all are very close. Y'all room together a lot on the road, share houses together. Take us a little bit inside of that. What's it like sharing a house with Scottie? And how does it work for y'all? Who gets the big bedroom?
Do you guys ever make ravioli together?
I don't try to cook with him anymore. It looks a lot different now with the babies in the house, for sure. I think it's a lot more fun now, coming home to the boys and just kind of hanging out with them and playing with them and watching them. It's great entertainment. Last week having us all in a house and just watching Bear and Bennett just crawl around and get into all sorts of stuff. It's just, it's funny kind of how it's evolved over our years on tour. But really, I think it's pretty relaxed. Like, we come home, the girls have either cooked or, we order food to the house and kind of just hang out. Golf is not really talked about very much. Maybe we'll watch a show or sports or whatever it is. But I think overall it's just pretty chill.
Yeah, and always in the night with some cookies, I hear.
Yeah, we I would say both of us have a pretty bad sweet tooth. So
he blames you.
Your ice cream.
Yeah.
He also, I don't know if people know this, but that guy eats more food than I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's unbelievable.
It's a big boy.
Like, we'll order food to the house and he gets like 3 entrees and like 2 appetizers. I'm like, what? And he eats all of it. It's insane.
What a dude. So we were just talking about, he got the call for Whistling Straits. You get the call for Rome. And then here you go, first Ryder Cup, opening day, opening match. You and Scottie. going out together. He and I were there. That's the first one on foreign soil for me. It's ridiculous, like the energy level there. Is there anything that you can remember about standing on that first tee and what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean the atmosphere was insane. You were there, you got to see it. I mean it was nuts, and to be able to go first off was cool that they kind of trusted us in that spot. I'm kind of like sad, but also glad that we've pretty much been officially separated to play together in the team event. I felt like it was really frustrating for us because a lot of those matches we feel like we played pretty well. And I can just remember like some of the stats guys would say to us, like, well, if y'all had played anyone else, you would have won the match. And we're like, that's not really what we want to hear.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's great, but like we lost. So that kind of sucked. But, this last President's Cup, I thought him and Russell playing together was great. We kind of knew that going into it. And they played fantastic. And then, me being able to play with Pat was really fun. So yeah, it was a blast. I mean, you obviously want to win, and when you don't, with two very competitive people, it's pretty disappointing.
Yep. Well, hopefully get to see you up at Bethpage later on this fall. That place is going to be insane. I mean, you've seen it on both sides, obviously, between President's Cup and Ryder Cup. Can you imagine what it's going to be like up at Bethpage?
It's going to be, it's just going to be unbelievable. Like, truly unbelievable.
Keegan might not sleep the entire week.
He might not sleep for the entire month leading up to it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's sleeping right now.
He's going to be fired up.
Homeboy's wired.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be, I think he's going to do a great job. I mean, I really can't think of someone more passionate about a Ryder Cup than he is right now.
I love it. I was so excited when they made the pick. I mean, just seeing how he's, performed in the Ryder Cups when he's played, how passionate he is. I mean, obviously what he went through at Rome, getting passed over. I think it's going to be awesome. He's going to be fired. He's going to do a great job.
Yeah, he is for sure. I mean, he might be on the team.
That's a good point. Yeah, he's playing rather nice.
He is. Yeah.
I feel like it's like a perfect storm, though, with Keegan's like energy level, his passion for the deal, coming off a loss on foreign soil, coming back to the U.S., and in New York. I feel like it's just like all the things, like it's the perfect storm of just, it could be mayhem up there. It
could, yeah. And it could be, I mean, if we get off to a bad start, if we're not playing well, I think they could let us know about it too. So
you're going to hear some things.
I don't know. They're crazy, but this is the first time like a line's been drawn in the sand golf-wise to where they're like, it's Team US, you know what I mean? It's not like heckle everyone you don't like that's at the US Open.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's get to the E9 here. Have some fun with Sam Burns. All right, we asked this to everyone. You can be anybody else for a day. Anyone in the history of time, who would you be?
Oh, anyone in the history of time. Man. I'm going to say, this is kind of a strange answer, but I'm going to say one of the Wright brothers, first one to fly.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Imagine being that first time, being like, all right, I think this thing's going to get off the ground.
I think, but I'm not sure.
And it might stay in the air. We're not sure yet.
You try it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. I like that. That's a first.
Very cerebral answer. It's nice, Sammy. All right. Next year, you get to pick one SE school and they go winless for the entire season. Ooh. Who are you dumping that off on?
Winless for the entire season.
Yeah, just fan base and fucking turmoil.
Alabama. No, I mean 100%.
Okay, thought that might be it, but given Georgia's dominance, I didn't know which way you'd go there.
I just feel like LSU, Georgia, like it's just kind of, we don't really play them that often. And unfortunately, we do play Alabama, and they tend to beat us a lot. So that's why I picked them.
All right. Well, speaking of Alabama, is it weird at all that you named your kid after a legendary Alabama coach, considering how much you love LSU?
I can tell you he was the last person I thought of when we named him Bear. So.
Well, according to us, you named it after Bear Bryant.
Yeah.
It's a sick name, though.
Hey, maybe for your next kid, you could name him Urban.
Yeah. I'll just go down the list of
Kirby. Here's Nick. My 3 kids: Bear, Urban, and Kirby.
That's great. Who is Bear named after?
Or that's a sick name.
Is there anything?
No. we didn't find out what we were having, so we picked one name for each gender, and then I don't know how we really thought of it. We kind of just, I think we saw like, honestly, I think the Schefflers had like a bear painting in their lake house or something, and like the girl name we had was also a B name. We were like, well, maybe we like the double B name. We just came up with bear, and Caroline was like, yeah, I love it.
It's a sick name.
Yeah, it is. He almost has no choice but to be a beast.
I heard he
With that
dominates.
name, you know what I mean?
I heard he dominates Bennett in the wrestling too.
It's so funny watching them because Bennett's just like kind of hyper and Bear's like very methodical, like kind of chill. And so like Bennett will just like come over there and start messing with whatever Bear's doing, and Bear just gets frustrated and will just like crawl off. He's just trying to play, like relax.
That's good.
It's a beautiful thing. All right. I need your opinion here. Opinion of Sam Burns when it comes to your boy, legendary LSU Tiger, Joe Burrow, and his fashion choices. Which better describes them? A, fashionable trendsetter, or B, extremely questionable?
He walks a fine line.
It is super fine.
He's definitely, you can tell he's not from Louisiana, that's for sure. It's, some of them they're out there for sure. I definitely don't have any of his stuff in my closet. I'll say that.
Did he ever wear that stuff in college?
Yeah, when did that start?
I don't know. Not that I know of, but I don't know him, so I didn't know him in college. I have no idea.
He's a bad sumbitch, though. I'll tell you that.
The memes when he had the blonde hair coming out that they put up next to like Ellen DeGeneres. And shit.
Those were good.
It was so good. Oh man, yeah, you better be good wearing that into the arena.
He is good. All right, give me your thoughts on yellow golf balls.
Yeah, they're nice.
You do not mean that. Okay, say you and your Ryder Cup partner.
Oh yeah,
okay, you got to play off the shot. He's comfortable with the yellow ball. How are you going to handle it?
Not happening.
Become a European.
I'm taking all of his golf balls and throwing them into the crowd and saying, "This is a real golf ball. We were playing with a white ball today."
Okay, I like it.
Who's out there anymore playing yellow?
Mostly senior tour. Peter Malnati did for a while.
Peter Malnati still plays the yellow golf ball.
Oh, he does. Okay. All right, Pete. Okay, Petey.
It's not happening. We're playing a white ball.
It's non-negotiable.
He's a tough guy to be mean to.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Malnati. You know what I mean? But you could do it. Yeah.
Watch him chip in a lot in Phoenix.
I've heard a lot of people you've been playing with lately have been chipping in.
Dude, I've never seen anything like this in my life, the run that I've been on with other people holding out. It's kind of – I was okay with it for a little while. Now I'm like, all right, this is getting old. But Peter did it a couple times. Ben Silverman did it on the same hole that Peter did it, and then I hit the worst chip ever and then got booed, and then I was ready to jump in the water and swim to the clubhouse. And then I played with Tony last week. He chipped in 3 times in 8 holes, and I was like, I finally told him, I was like, dude, I think it might be me.
Yeah. He hit 9 greens and shot 500.
Yeah, that was a joke.
South.
Tony.
Yeah, it was wild.
Damn. Yeah, mate, you're the heater. You're the heat check right now.
I played with Carlos Ortiz in one of the Korn Ferry playoff events up in Portland, and he chipped in 3 times in 9 holes. One of them we started on 10. One of them was 18, and his voice. He looks at me and goes, "Sorry, Colt." He apologized.
Yeah.
I was the same way. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." I mean,
dude, it was wild.
That's awesome.
All right, next one for me. We were talking Ryder Cup about the phone calls and things. Let's just say you're on the bubble again this year, and day comes, this is when the calls go out. Being what happened last time, do you plan on changing up the poop routine on that day?
No, it worked last time. So I might just hang out all day on the toilet.
Yeah.
Not a bad play.
Not a bad spot.
There's worse places to be.
Golfers are superstitious. Hey, you do what works.
Mm-hmm. That's still one of the great. I think you told it to Taylor Zarzer over there. And I was like, I had no idea. I don't think anyone had any idea. It's such a great story.
Yeah, that was bad timing, but I was like, I've got to just pinch this thing off and take this call.
Yeah, you're not going to not answer.
Yeah, have to.
Yeah.
Hey, Cap, hold on.
Yeah.
All right, next one here. And I actually got this from him. But is it true Scottie Scheffler is actually scared to play you in practice rounds nowadays?
Uh, it's funny because he says that, but then every time we go out and play, he shoots 5 under, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like,
He told me you own him on Tuesdays.
I would say if we played 10 times on Tuesdays, we probably split.
Okay,
Like
well,
we played. I don't know. We played in Phoenix. We played Pebble maybe, and I lost in Pebble and tied in Phoenix.
just bring Gary Woodland along because he can't pay attention to Gamble, so you'll just own him.
I'll tell you what. Scottie and I played with Cameron Champ one year, Caves Valley on Tuesday, and I think I was 5 under through 7, 1 down, and he closed Scottie out on number 6.
Oh,
I think he either shot 8 or 9 under. It was like the most insane thing I've ever seen. I mean, there's not a golf course that really fits him better than that, but
smash.
True.
it's absolutely sinned.
I heard from another player, though, that same thing, that they're calling you Tuesday Sam because it's just like it's a foregone conclusion, which is nice. It's a nice rep to have.
See, he's a good player. He doesn't like that rep. He doesn't want to be known as Tuesday Sam.
That's true.
Better
But
than
I will take your money no matter what day of the week it is.
Hell
regardless of Tuesday.
yeah. At least you got a day. All right, my last one was regarding the impression that we already saw.
Well, let's can you for us, just for our show, say, this is Sam Burns. You're listening to Golf Subpar.
Yes. This is Sam Burns. You're listening to Subpar.
All right, now, Mark, go ahead and play the Xander one.
I believe Xander's with you more than you.
That's good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
All right, I got one last one.
Yeah, you got one more. That was it for me.
All right. I believe at Rome you went 1 and 2. Is that correct?
That sounds right.
It's correct. All right, you went 1 and 2 at Rome. Do you have a better record or more wins at the Ryder Cup or against your wife, Carolyn, in a foot race?
Well, we've only raced once, and I'm 1-0. So,
Okay, well, I'm getting bad info because I was told she beat you.
well, she says that I got an early jump. I think in the video, if you watched, I'm a little quicker off the jump than her, but that's up for debate.
She would confirm with your quicker.
If we had to run
Super
further
fast.
than 40 yards, I would be toast.
I heard you declined a rematch too.
I did.
Yeah, you're
100%.
unbeaten. You got to
So,
earn that.
yes.
Earn that
Why would I
rematch.
do that.
Yeah,
Also, now that y'all are married, if you ever had to go take a test again, do you think she would let you cheat off her this time?
Absolutely not. That was the most unbelievable thing in my
That
life.
is
I was
unbelievable.
like, we had one class together in college. One. I was like, great.
And y'all were
100%.
together, right?
Yes, we're dating. I'm
Okay, what was the class?
Geology.
And you needed a little help on the test.
So I'm sitting there. Of course, I haven't studied for the test. Why would I? She did. I'm sitting right next to her. So, we start taking the test, and it's like we had to draw these different rock formations. And I'm like, I have no idea what these are. So I start looking at her, like kind of just, glancing over at her paper, kind of see the first one. Then the second one, she starts kind of picking up on what I'm doing. So she just kind of like leans over and turns her shoulder like that and blocks the paper. And I'm like, hey, like, what are you doing? She's like, you can't cheat. I'm like, I have to. I have no idea what these formations are. And ended up failing the test. And that was the only time in college I ever pulled an all-nighter to study for a final because I had to pass the class.
Wow.
Damn, making you earn it.
That's awesome.
That's
though.
tough.
I
And you
love it.
stayed with her. That could have been grounds for, you know what? Gonna have to look elsewhere. Someone let me cheat off
It
them.
was funny. We were at dinner one time with our families, and Caroline's dad was bragging on her about, Caroline's never made a B in college. She's a great student, whatever. And my dad was like, I don't think Sam's ever made a B in college either. Just the other one.
That's awesome.
It all worked out.
Yeah, it's working
Yeah.
out very well, man. Well, we really appreciate you joining us. Been wanting to do this for a while. You're one of the best out there, man, and look forward to seeing what you do the rest of the season.
All right. Thank you, guys. Look forward to doing it again soon.
All right, that was Sam Burns joining us on Subpar. First off, the Xander impersonation.
Hey,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Sam Burns.
God, I love you, Xander. That was hilarious. I mean, right when I said someone does an impersonation of you, he just put his head back. He's like, I already know what's coming.
By the way, he responded with a video quicker than, it was like he was waiting for this moment.
Oh, I texted him.
You needed Sam? Yeah, I have 7 of them already
Yeah.
just saved in my phone.
It was glorious. But Sam, man, I've been asking Sam to do this for a while. Finally made some time for it, but he is great. I mean, between his wife not letting him cheat on a test, I mean, first off, what are you doing? Come on.
I can't
Gotta help
believe
the
they
kid
stayed
out.
together. That's game over in my world. You're not going to help me graduate college? I don't know that I can trust you.
I mean, tailgating down at LSU. By the way, I'd love to go do that.
My big thing I was most fascinated by is like, oh, you and Elon Musk just having a little supper. Walk me through the conversation where we started with that. Like the Venn diagram, where's the overlap between you and Elon Musk?
That's awesome.
But
Cool.
I mean, how cool is golf though? I don't care where you are in the aisle, whatever. Like getting to play with presidents of the United States, meeting the smartest guy, arguably on the planet. That don't happen if you play, soccer.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe.
But really
If you're
cool.
Messi
I mean,
or something.
like I said, we don't care what side you're on. You get a chance to go to a dinner like that. That is awesome. But Sam, he's one of my favorite guys out there. Just such an incredible talent. Plays fast as shit. He has obviously some very strong opinions about that. I'm here for it.
Yeah, need to get him offline too and hear about this the secrets that were divulged. National security.
You think he knows it all?
What he said. He might be in the know now. He might be the guy.
Well, a lot
He
of
might
fun
have the codes.
catching up with him. He is an absolute beauty.
Yep, that was a fun one. And a quick word from our boys over at Zone Nicotine, the best nicotine products in the world. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale is prohibited. Introducing Zone Nicotine pouches, the perfect balance of unparalleled comfort, longer-lasting flavor, and nicotine that satisfies. Whether you're zoning in for an important putt or zoning out after a tough day at work, Zone gets you there faster and keeps you there longer. Available in 7 flavors and in 6 and 9 milligram strengths. Find Zone at zonepouches.com and retailers near you. Own your Zone with Zone nicotine pouches.
Awesome. Special thanks to Zone, Callaway, Fanatic
Shipsticks.
Sportsbook, Shipsticks. All of y'all are the best. Make sure you go download the Fanatic Sportsbook app. Follow along with us for that season-long contest. And also, fairwayjockey.com. A little bit of swag golf merch left. Get it before it's too late. And we'll talk to you on next week's Subpar.